You do understand the last time this happened in human civilization, that's when the Nazis came. It's now happening again to human civilization, and now we're witnessing the rise of Islam. See, instead of a mustache man, we have a man with a flag that says Allah Akbar. That is a natural swing of the pendulum. Things have went so far left that we have completely lost our minds. We have lost our society, we have lost our women, so in turn, we have lost our families. Feminism has literally destroyed our society. Now, I'm not a Mandami fan, I'm a Christian. But if it's going to take Christians uniting with Islam to restore and bring back traditional family values to our country, then so be it. Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of a Christian man is feminism. The enemy, the natural enemy of feminism is Islam. That puts us on the same side. I was against the Mandami election in New York, not because he's Muslim, not because he speaks about Sharia law, not because he brings those values with him, but because he's a communist. I'm an anti-communist. I'm a patriot. But what makes me a patriot was I was raised with strong American family values, values that are long lost with our current society because there's been too much of a sense of security. So women don't feel they need men anymore. That right there means women can leave the family. She doesn't no longer need the protection of a husband. She can just call the police. And if you can sue him for child support or alimony, well, now you don't really need him for money. You get all the benefits of a husband, or you can just live off the state, which will provide for you like a husband, and you can call the police, so you got protection like a husband. So what do you need a man for? Telling you what to do, telling you how to behave, telling you how to dress because he wants to protect you. I've been to Muslim countries before. Half my family's Muslim. I understand Islam. When you go to these countries, you don't really see women out by themselves. They either have their brother or their cousin or their father with them because men understand the inherent dangers of other men. In the West, we have lots of problems with sexual assault, rape, murder, all types of different things are happening to women. And now we're watching video after video where men no longer jump in to help save women from other men anymore. Feminism has told us that women don't need our help. They're strong, they're capable. So, what do you need a man for? Now you're on your own. With the reduction of police coming to the city of New York with Mandami, but the introduction of Islam, it is going to reset the country. And a lot of these values are going to have to spread west. If that's what it's going to take to bring women back into the homes, back into the family, then so be it. See, losing our families means we are losing our country. 8 out of 10 American women no longer qualify to be wives for anyone unless you're a man with a death wish and you hope to lose everything, including your kids one day. Well, then, yeah, go ahead and get married. But right now, it's not the time. A lot of us have passports, or we meet women that are from other countries that might be visiting the United States, and we marry them. But why can't we marry American women? Well, it's because the culture here doesn't allow for it. The women here are abusive. They also do not listen to men's authority. When a man is telling you how to dress, it's because to protect you, there must be a level of control over you. If you reject that control, well, then I can no longer protect you. And if I can't protect you, then I can't be your man. If I'm not your man, I can't be your husband. That's the complete breakdown. Men, we have to think ahead. We meet these women and we process this information so we can no longer marry them. So we look abroad for women that have traditional values, that were raised with a father in the home, a father that she respects, that she watched her mother respect, that her father had a level of control. But Rico, why do you want to control? It's not that I want to control women. It's just that you have to protect women from themselves. This is the reason why you got to protect women from themselves. This is what happens when feminism gains too much power. Christianity, unfortunately, provides too much forgiveness for everything. So that means anything goes. There's no longer any moral standards with Christianity. So everything is out of whack. There's no structure, there's no standards. Anything goes. So you really don't even have a religion. You don't have anything. When I think of religion, I think of living by a certain moral code. You follow the religion so you know how to have a family, how to behave with the family, how to grow your family. It teaches you how to behave and live life. But now with Christianity, if anything goes, then there's really nothing for you to adhere to. There is no structure. This is the result of that. Take a listen.
Now, transgender woman's milk is just as good for babies as breast milk. That's according to a letter from the medical director at University Hospital Sussex NHS Foundation Trust. The claim was made as part of a response against campaign groups. The trust referred to studies and the World Health Organization guidance, including one case which found what it called no observable effects in babies fed by induced lactation.
There is no such thing as trans women because that's just a woman. If you can produce breast milk, you're a woman, even if you're cosplaying and pretending to be a man. But Christian tolerance tells you that you can be anything you want to be. If I can walk into a church and there is a female pastor and most of the congregation is now gay, living in sin, well, then what structure is there anymore? More and more every day, I'm understanding why Andrew Tate converted to Islam. It's because he wants to save his family in the future. He wants to save his daughters. He wants to save his sons. He wants to protect his wives or the women he's with. And he's going to do it the best way he can. Structure is required. Without structure, you have chaos. Nothing can survive or strive in chaos. You look at certain communities, it's pure chaos. And that's why these communities are at the very bottom. They want to bring us all to the bottom. We cannot allow that. Islam now being brought into the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. If you listen to what she said, the World Health Organization studies, that's globalist because the World Health Organization is under the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. Right now, there's a war versus Benjamin Netanyahu and the Zionists against Klaus Schwab and the globalists. The globalists have pretty much all but won this war. And our new masters, and let's just be honest, Israel, the Zionists, they are our masters here in America. They own our politicians, they own our cabinets, they own our House, they own our Senate. They own us. We're going to get new owners now. There will be a transition period, and that's what we're in right now, and it's looking a little rocky. Why do you think the Zionists did what they did to Kirk? That was a desperate move, their one last shot at holding on to control, which they lost. Now, the gay agenda is the Zionists. The trans agenda and the transhuman agenda is the globalists. We're really not going to be doing any better. We're exchanging the evil enemy that we know for the evil enemy that we don't know. And we're just going to have to learn to figure out this transition period to make it through it, which is what we're in right now. However, there is some silver lining. The fact is they have to use Islam and those men from these countries, because see, those are real men. Men from these Muslim countries are willing to fist fight. They have the numbers, they have the strength, but also they have their women and children at home under their control. They have something to not just live for, they have something to die for protecting. Something that we lost here in the West. We don't have women no more. Women don't have men. They don't need men. There's all these different tropes. That's over. Family is a thing of the past in the West. But with the emergence of Islam and the World Economic Forum and the globalists taking control of the United States, there will be less law enforcement. That's a part of the globalist agenda. But with less law enforcement, women will be more vulnerable than ever. They are defenseless. Regardless of what you've seen on the Avengers or Fantastic Four, women will get their asses kicked in a fight. When you don't have guns and it's hand-to-hand combat, women will lose. And men nowadays have been programmed to no longer risk our lives to save these ungrateful women. Therefore, These women will have to take a husband for protection. They're going to need a man in their life, or it will be too dangerous to survive in these countries and the times that we're moving into. Again, you won't be able to lean on the government to be your husband, and you won't be able to lean on law enforcement to be your protector. You're going to need a man. If that's what it's going to take to bring sanity and family and traditionalism and conservative values back to the United States, then so be it. Again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of Christianity is feminism. The enemy of Islam is feminism. That means Islam is my friend. Again, why do you think that's one of the fastest growing religions for men across the world? We love our women that we're with, but we understand the dangers that come with being a man, and we understand the dangers that are waiting for women. If you're not willing to submit to me and listen to me as far as the measures I'm going to put in place to keep you safe, because you're going to be my wife and the mother of my children, then this isn't going to work. But that's something that's learned through experience, but also it's taught through your father. We lost 2 generations, 3 generations of women. Islam, their culture is bringing us back to American traditional values of the 50s, back when families were strong, back when people were married at an 80 and 90% rate. We've lost that. And that's why we're losing our country. The men don't want to marry these women. These women are getting older, and they're becoming more and more dependent on the government because there's no children to take care of them in their old age, and there's no husband. There never was, and there never will be. That's going to have to change for society to keep moving forward. Allowing women to just run wild and age out is not going to have to be an option. They're going to have to take a husband. Men are going to have to take these wives, or what are we going to have left? It's a shame that a dominant, stronger culture that's more pragmatic and logical is going to have to usurp our current Black American culture, which is taking over the country. Islam and Black American culture are antithetical to one another, and we're going to have to replace Black culture with Islam. We're going to have to bring back marriage, families, and traditionalism for the country to survive. We don't really have an option. I'm so glad things are changing and people starting to realize that men and women need each other, but trying to reinvent the wheel, it doesn't work. It never had and it never will. Like and subscribe, share the video. I'll be back on with another video in a few minutes, and we'll go over some other topics. Thank you, and I'll see you again shortly.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.